Hey guys, artist illustrator Joshua Wichterich here, and today I thought I'd share with you a little process that I do, a part of a process of how I do my working one-on-one with authors and how I do it. So I'm a traditional illustrator, meaning I do majority of my illustrations and sketches and things of that nature by hand, and I use paper, good old mixed media paper or watercolor, whatever texture that I think would look nice, whatever tooth of paper would look nice, that's what I use. I just use regular graph pencil, and I would color it with watercolor, ink it, embellish it with color pencil, and so on, and then I would upload it, scan it in, upload it onto whatever program I use, whether it was GIMP or Photoshop, Illustrator, but I use GIMP just because it's easy and it's free, and it doesn't have all the whistle and bells like Photoshop, but it's free. But I do use Photoshop when the client wants Photoshop files, but if I have a choice, I'll just use GIMP. It's just way quicker and easier. But I will do that, and then I will embellish it further digitally, whatever program I use. I'll clean it up, and then I would put it together in a book format, you know, with the flow and illustrations and text placement, and I'll put it in like a mock-up and show the author the book and see if they like it. So with that said, I do use traditional medium like pencil, paper, watercolor, all of that, and I do that by hand. So right now what I'm doing with this book is I showed the author the sketches, and she wants some revisions, which when I do revisions, I would rather in this process of sketches because it's so much easier. So we will do revisions of in terms of like how the characters look on the page, like the way they're set up, the actions they're doing. So we'll do it easily during this phase. So I did some sketches, and I have the paper cut out in the book's size. Most books that I do, they want 8.5 by 8.5, which is a popular size. It fits on the bookshelf easily. It's good for small hand reading, kids, easy to manage. So I did it to 8.5 by 8.5, and I did the sketches, drawings, and so I'm going to do revisions. And so what I do is I literally will mark, like for example on here, barking. I just jotted these. She wants the dog to bark, so I'm just gonna do it like that. So I do it, I'm very simple, I'm very old school. Bigger smile, and then him dreaming. So things like that. So I will just go ahead and do those edits, and then I will send the author the sketches and see if they want it improved, and then I'll go on to painting and inking and all that fun stuff. And I do enjoy the traditional way of art and illustrating because you know, hand and eye coordination is really important. Like literally thinking as you work, and you know, being very careful in what I'm doing, very strategic. You know, I'm not mocking digital anything by that, because I do digital sometimes, and digital is easier. You can just press something, you know, and it'll fill it in with color and all this. But actual traditional, you know, you have to be strategic, and you gotta like literally be careful in what you're doing and things of that nature. And then even so, I still will upload it, and I'll still do tweaks and clean up digitally. So it's not like it's the end of the world if something happens. I just do it digitally. So that's why digital is also easy. It's easier. It's quicker. So that's just the way the world is, you know, with technology. But I just choose to do traditional. I feel like for me, traditional it's easier for me to manage. I've done it for years. I've always worked with pen and paper. That's just my comfort zone. That's what I choose to to do. The only downfall is actually going out and buying the things, paper, paints, all that stuff, and it's very expensive. It's very expensive and it doesn't last long. Also having to cut out the paper on this right here is mixed media paper. I have a big pad and I will cut it out, pad like this, 24 by 48 inches, and I will cut them out. And that's a whole big step, having to size your paper and cut it out. Like if you do it digitally, you just input the pixels and the size that you want, and boom, it's there. So that's a downfall of being traditional, is having to do it. It takes a little bit more time, a little more patience, but I still love it, and that's how I do my work. So with all those steps, it does take a little bit more time for me, but like I said, I do enjoy it, and I look forward to doing it, and it's really fun and really amazing, and God is good for me to do what I love to do and what I'm good at. Ever since I was a kid, I used to love books and picture books and comic books, and I used to draw from them and trace them and mimic them, and just over time I had developed my own way of drawing style, things of that nature, and developed my own, whereas today I have my own signature style that I use, that I will illustrate. A book by default would be my signature style. If they wanted something more realistic, something different, I could do that as well, but they just have to specify, and of course, prices vary, things of that nature. But my default style is the style that everybody loves. I love it. It's what I choose to do. But I just wanted to show everybody that, talk about it. I would like to come on here and do more videos like this, where I'm just kind of sharing my process and what I do. But I hope you all enjoyed that, and until next time, see you later.